Good morning, fellow truth seekers. Seeking the truth is so rewarding because we don't care with a hidden agenda. We just want to learn the truth. And in the Bible it says, the truth shall set you free. So we're asking the question today, why is faith such a big deal to God our Father? Why?
Yeah, why?
I mean, there could be a lot of things that are a big deal, but it says in His Word, without faith, it is impossible to please God.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that just pretty much nails it. And then if you want to look at Romans 14:23, it says, whatever does not come from faith is sin.
Wow.
Okay, it's pretty much locked and loaded. You either believe in God and His Son, or you don't.
So do you say belief and faith is the same thing?
Well, no, I don't. And the reason, it says also in the Bible, even the demons believe and tremble. So there's more than just this intellectual, yeah, I know the sun comes up every day. There is more. There's the understanding of what that person or that being has done for you. Believing that that gift of service was and is valuable. That is faith. To believe that the light switch works is belief. But to have faith that the light switch works, you got to flip the switch. So faith is more. It's a noun as well as a verb. It's the whole bottom line, and that's what we're trying to. Why is faith that big of a deal to God? What we have to do to answer that question is we have to take a trip back to heaven. I know it's a long trip or it's a fast trip, but we need to take a trip back to heaven. And what it says in Isaiah 14, it talks about Lucifer in heaven saying, I will ascend to the tops of the clouds. I will make myself like the Most High. So now we have, first of all, a being that wants to be God, but is not God. That's the first thing we see with that, right? And on top of that, we can go and find also in Isaiah 14:12, how you are fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning, how you are cut down to the ground, you who weaken all the nations. On top of that, it basically says, by the abundance of your trading, you became filled with violence within, and you sinned. Therefore I cast you as a profane thing out of the mountain of God. Okay? So this being, Lucifer, the morning star, wanted to be God. Now, in my past life, I had...
You mean life before this one?
No, in my life before you, Aloysia.
Okay.
I had relationships with women that were not healthy. And I would say during that time, I want a woman who wants me. Now, that's not, I mean, most everybody would say that. You want a spouse that wants to be with you. Well, That's really what Lucifer was saying. I don't want to be with God. I want to be God. It's like saying, I don't want to be with you, Elosia. I want to be you. Now, this is mucho locos. I don't really want to be a woman, but I become so proud and arrogant of what you're doing, I want the attention. That's just saying, I want to, my ego is so big, I want to take it all in. I am it. Well, that's what Lucifer said. And then it says in Revelation, war broke out in heaven, and Michael and his angels fought with the dragon. Now he's not called Lucifer anymore, he's called a dragon. But they did not prevail, and there was no place found for them in heaven. So the great dragon was cast down, the serpent called the devil, Satan, who deceives the world. He was cast down to the earth. So this being wanted to be God and didn't want to love and serve God. That being is saying, I have no faith. I have no faith in my God the Father. And I'm throwing that out, and I want to be God. I want to be as like the God of heaven. Now that being is anti-God. And what faith demands from the Father, the way he separates the goats from the sheep, is who believes. And we have the dragon and his followers that say, I don't believe, I want to be God. But on the other hand, we have those who go, well, I know I'm not God, and I really want to believe and have faith in my God. Now here's the drop the mic. Jesus, which is the physical manifestation of God, because God is spirit and no one has seen God, but we, through the physical manifestation of Jesus, have seen God. But then God says, this is my beloved Son, in whom I'm well pleased. So now the act of service that God the Father has done and is doing through Jesus is to give you a reconnection with him. For those who believe and have faith, they can have a restoration in the connection with God. That's why that act is so important to God. He couldn't do anything more. It says he sent his only Son.
So you're saying faith is the missing link between us and God.
Right.
The source of all life.
Right. And if we don't have faith in God and his Son, the physical manifestation of God, if we don't have faith in what they did for us, there's no way to reconnect. And of course, Lucifer goes, I don't really care. I want to be God. I don't want to believe in the Father and the Son. I want to be. So, fellow truth seekers, here is the point. If you don't believe in Jesus, you have the spirit of anti-Christ. You're against Christ. You don't believe. And Jesus is saying, through me has all the world been saved. And the Father is saying, I have sent me in the manifestation of the flesh of Jesus. I've sent me to you to restore you to me. And we go, nah, I don't think so. I don't think so. No.
No, there are some people saying, yeah, there are a lot of roads back to heaven, back to God. I can pick and choose which way to go.
Well,
Good luck with that.
yeah. What you're saying when you say that is, I want to be God.
Yeah.
You are saying just what Lucifer said. And if you can go back to when I said, I want somebody to want me, that's what God is saying. I want somebody to believe me. I want somebody to have faith in what I've done through my son. I need your faith. For without faith, you can't even have a relationship with me. So, fellow truth seekers, it's not about you. It's about Jesus and the Father, because the Father is the unseen, Jesus is the seen. The restoration and reconnection is their work. Okay? And we need to believe that, or you get a free trip to hell. I'm just saying right now. And of course,
In the business class.
Yes, good point. In business class, you can even go first class if you want. It's like you're still going.
It's still going.
So my point is, any being that says, I don't believe in the Father and the physical manifestation of the Father in his Son Jesus has the spirit of Antichrist and cannot be God. Only one God. So think through the religions of the world. How many religions say Jesus is not God? Jesus is maybe a man. Jesus didn't die for my sins. How many religions do not believe and have faith in the Father and in his physical manifestation that we know as Jesus?
Well, I personally don't care about religion. I care about relationship. You can talk all day long about different religions. I don't care. I don't have a religion in me. I believe and I have a relationship with Jesus and my God.
Amen. But think about it for a minute. There's over 1/4, almost 1/3 of the entire world that says death to Christians, death to Jesus, death to anyone other than their God, which is the spirit of Antichrist. And we'll talk about that because I have a great love for our fellow believers that believe falsely at the moment. I want to help them. And we will speak to that at another topic in another time, because it's critical that everybody understand faith in God and in his physical manifestation we know as Jesus is required to please the God of the universe.
Required for our salvation and for our souls.
Amen. Thank you.